Hey y'all, it's been a minute. I've sure missed you guys. I know, sorry I was gone a week, but you know, you guys understand the circumstances, I hope. But today I am collaborating with Misty from Gleespen Designs. You guys, she is phenomenal. I can't even say enough about this girl. I mean, y'all, please, please, I'll have her link in the description box. Go check her out. I mean, I'm telling you, if you guys don't even know who she is, you probably do. She's a girl after my own heart. She is just, anyway, I love you guys, and again, I missed you guys, but I'm doing a giveaway, and you'll get to see it better at the end of the video, but I wanted to show y'all something I made. Look, up, up, up. Could you see it? Look at that. Hello, pumpkin. Hello, pumpkin. Anyway, all you got to do is in the description box, put hello, pumpkin, if you want to be entered in to win this beautiful t-shirt. It's an extra large, I think, and it's for all, sizes. Some of y'all can sleep in it. Some of y'all extra large like me, you can just wear it. But you know, anyway, mwah. We'll talk about Misty a little bit later in the video. Let's get on with the video. Okay, y'all. Right here, I got two of those signs from the Dollar Tree from back in the Valentine's Day. And I'm just going to remove the frame. Now, look. Those jute strings are stapled on, so if you move the staples from the back, you can get that top piece off easier. And if you sand that down real good, once you get that off, you can make that flat, and you're gonna need to, because it's got a lot of glue and paper on it. And this is a long one, y'all. And I said enter that in the description box. No, in the comments. You can't put anything in the description box. I say that all the time, and I don't know why. Anyway, I'm going to take some Aleene's tacky glue right here, and I'm going to glue my signs together. Now, I know that's not going to hold them together, but that will prevent them from getting a little gap. And then on my frame, I'm going to take mineral chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm doing like a whitewash, even though it's not white, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm going to put it on like kind of thick, and then wipe it off with a wet wipe. Excuse me. Because I like that gray look, y'all know I do. And I'm going to take those giant craft sticks from the Walmart. Now, those are the biggest ones. There's the SKU number. And I'm going to cut off the tips of each one of them. And I don't know why. I don't know why I do it, cut off the tips, but I do. So, yeah, just going to put one right there. And then going to put one at the very top. And then one at the very bottom. You guys, I started DIYs last week, of course, and then my best friend passed away, and then I was out of town, and then here I was trying to get this more DIYs, get it together. So it's kind of like I said, a long one, but most of them are. Anyway, I couldn't get that craft paper from the Hobby Lobby to match up. No matter which way I turned it. And I thought, well, I could cut it off, but then I know I'd mess it up, and I couldn't figure out where to cut it. It was crazy. So, I put a ton of Mod Podge down. Now, let me tell y'all about this little iron. I know, it's a lot right now, y'all. This is a mini heat press. And I'm going to tell you what, it's from it's from HTV RONT. I don't know. I always call them HTV RONT. And they sent it to me and wanted me to try it out. And they sent me a ton of iron on vinyl, too. But, y'all, this little thing, I'm telling y'all, if you want a little iron, or just a little kind of press or something like that, the price is great. I wanted to say a price amount, but I'm afraid right now I'll mess it up, but I'll have it in the description box. And you really, really can't beat it. And, hey, Christmas is coming up, y'all. I'm serious. So, anyway, I knew what I wanted to use it for, so I laid down after my Mod Podge dried, I laid down my paper and a piece of parchment paper, and I'm ironing it on because that heat activates that Mod Podge. And yeah, see, I was hoping it was busy enough that y'all couldn't tell, and I hope I haven't gotten y'all confused. But I take two pieces of heat transfer tape, and then I just went down the seam of it right there just to be extra, you know, without the parchment paper. It didn't matter. I don't know why I did it. But anyway, I'm just going to cut the excess off right here. And then, hit my elbow. Then I'm going to take my sander and I'm going to sand off the excess paper on it, you know. I think that paper is beautiful, but I do wish I could have pieced it together better. But I don't know if you could really tell. I worry about these things. But anyway, I'm going to put my frame on, and I'm going to take the long pieces that come off the sides, and they're going, excuse me, one on each end, and then it's going to be y'all see what I'm doing. Anyway, and I'm going to take my Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to glue my frame on. Now, guys, if I use hot glue, I will drop it. I put it in the wrong spot. I don't get it on right. So that's why I never use it. Y'all can use it if you want, but I'm a mess with it. I mean, straight up, I'm dropping stuff constantly. Y'all see that. So I'm just going to use Aleene's tacky glue. It don't take long at all to dry. And actually, by the time I got the rest of this on, the first 3 pieces was tacky enough to stay on there. Hence, tacky glue. Anyway, and you can get it at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Then you can get it at the 5-quarter store. Ain't that right, Melinda? Anyway, and then after I get those 3 longer pieces on, I'm going to take 2 of the shorter pieces, because you have 2 left, you can use it for something else. And I'm just going to line it up there. Now, my end piece down there is not glued on, because I never do that until I get like the side, the top, the bottom, and then I'll glue the last piece on the end, because, again, I want it to fit. And if I try to squeeze something in there, it ain't going to work. Did I say too much all at once? Sorry. Anyway, y'all know. Y'all know. Anyway, it's been such a bad just time. I don't know. Shelly Craig sent me the most beautiful flowers that said, "Just because I love you from the bottom of my heart." And it has a lot of eucalyptus. I don't know why I left all this in, y'all. I could not. This is probably why the video is so long. I could have taken this out. I didn't even realize I did this. And y'all's like, move on with it. And if you're new here, I'm so sorry. I don't always leave this garbage in here. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, apparently. Look at that. I can't believe that. Y'all. Oh my gosh. Well, now you know how I do it all the way. If you was wondering, which I seriously doubt you were, because I'm sure y'all know how to put a frame on a picture. But anyway, I thought this was a cool idea, taking those 2 pictures and making a frame. Anyway, I got that 2 years ago from the Dollar Tree, y'all. That's how long it's been. I don't even know if they have them this year. I actually haven't seen them, but I really haven't been in Dollar Tree much since, you know, that haul, and I think one time afterwards. But I'm going to take some plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and that Summer Porch, I think that's the name of that, by Folk Art, but it's both chalk paint, but just yellow and white, and I'm going to make me a cream color. Yeah. And then paint that thing. And I'm always painting around the edges and in the center of everything first, because those things are a pain to paint. And y'all know it if you've ever painted them. Sorry, I need a drink, you guys. And I got those 2 picks from the Dollar Tree last year. And maybe I should have went with white, but kind of like that cream, that offset. And those were cream, and I could have painted them white, but I just like the way it looked, y'all. Or I could have done green, but it would have mixed in too much. I don't know. I'm really, really hard on myself this video. I'm disappointed in some things, but some things were really, really going wonky. But I left everything in this one, apparently. I think I deleted the stuff I wanted to keep and then kept the stuff I wanted to delete. But anyway, I just wrapped hot jute around them 2. Hot jute. Shoot. Aleene's tacky glue and some hot glue. And jute around the pick and hot glued it down. Then I set that paint cane on it to dry and hold it down. Then I take that green ribbon and buffalo check ribbon. You can get both of them from the Dollar Tree. And I just made 2 awareness bows and took a wire tie and hooked them together and dovetailed my legs. I don't know what you call them, the wings, the hanging down parts. And hot glued it down. Excuse me. And took a cotton ball and hot glued it and put it in the center of my little bow. And then took some jute, because that wording's heavy, and some craft sticks, and made a hanger, and there it is, y'all. And I think it's pretty. I do. I think it's very pretty. Y'all like it? tell me. You can be honest. If you don't like it, just say no. This is Misty, Gleespen Designs. Look at the stuff that she makes. Can y'all believe? I mean, come on. Look. Look at that. Look at this tray. Wait a minute. I'm trying. Look how beautiful. And then, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me. Look, look, look. Girl after my own heart. She is phenomenal. I'm telling you. Oh, my gosh. Just everything she makes. Just look at this. It goes on and on. Y'all, seriously, if you don't know who she is, you truly, truly, truly need to know who she is, because she blows my mind. I was just watching YouTube one day, and it came up next, and this little girlie came on, and I was like, dude, she's amazing. I fell in love with her. Seriously, y'all, please, please, please go to her channel. Check her out, because you will not be disappointed, and let her know that I sent you. Thank you. Bye. There went my doorbell. Never fails. Okay, y'all, I got those pumpkins there from last year at the Dollar Tree. They have them this year, but they're not as big. So you could use those orange ones that they always have. And I popped them galvanized little words off, and them words are big too. I'm actually going to use 3 of those. So just, yeah. And I thought, yeah, I just ended up going crazy. But this originally was going to be a dupe from Hobby Lobby, but I went at rogue, man. And I got my utility knife, and I'm just going to cut on that line and keep skewering all the way around till I cut that centerpiece out. And it's not, I mean, it takes time, but it's not hard. You know what I mean? You know, when you cut straight, it's much easier. And then sand it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. No. I cut the stem off this pumpkin. I do the same thing with another pumpkin. Just trust me. We're going somewhere. And I'm going to take some hot glue where I cut my pumpkin apart. And I'm going to glue the pieces of the other pumpkins to the front side of these pumpkins. This pumpkin. Does that make sense? Again, y'all can see what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. I did this last week, and y'all, I can't remember yesterday. So anyway, and then I'm going to take that third one, see, that I had, and do that too. Glue that to those also. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to take the circle part that I cut out, and we're going to glue them to the back. We're going to make that right. You know how they have those raised pumpkins like that? But I wanted the thickness, so that's why I glued the other ones to the back of this one. Yeah, I needed the bulk. Anyway, and then after I get those glued down, I'm going to take my little razor blade. No, I'm lying. I'm taking Jenga blocks, and I'm going to fill in that hole, because I need to put a back on it, and I can't quite put a back on it if there's a big hole right there. I mean, I can't, like, put just paper on it, you know what I mean? So, I filled it up there with some Jenga blocks to make it flat, because it actually lined up just right. So, that was pure luck. And then, oh my gosh. And then I'm going to take a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to put it on the back of my pumpkin right there. Yep. And then, I know those edges there are showing, but that's okay. We're going to fix that too. So, I'm just going to cut that off. And then I'm going to, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm not used to doing stuff this slow, but I got some people saying my stuff's too fast, so I try to slow it down, and I'm not used to going that slow. So anyway, I'm going to just hot glue those extra pieces on there, and then take my utility knife and cut off around it, and then sand it down real good. So now we got our back covered. So there, you know how those chips are in like that, those divots on the side that makes it look older. That's the way I was originally going, and I was going to make it match those little pumpkins from the Dollar Tree last year. Well, this is when I don't know what happened. I lost my mind, and I just said, no, I changed my mind. But still, it's like that. And I painted the whole thing with Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint. And then I take those 2 little pumpkins I just showed you from the Dollar Tree from last year, and I'm going to sand them down real good, and I'm going to paint them with ink chalk paint by Waverly. Now, those have a lot of texture in them, but I knew that those letters were going to want to show through whatever I did. So that's why I painted them with the black chalk paint. Yeah. And I think I had to give him 2 coats because that R was not getting along with me. It was being fussy. Okay, now I got that caulk, y'all. And I used a half a tube. And the reason I know, because I had a half a tube left. So, anyway, and I'm going to go around the edges. And I'm going to fill them edges up. And that's going to cover it up and make it look like one piece. Actually, it all looks like one entire piece. It looks really good. I like this one, y'all. I do. But I just get you some gloves on and have fun. That stuff real sticky. But because it starts drying so fast. But I just kept rubbing it in and giving my pumpkin some texture. Maybe I should have added some music to this one, you guys. Because, yeah, this is crazy. Hey, if y'all are from Missy's channel, hi, stick around, stay a while. I promise we'll have some fun, laugh and giggle. You can subscribe. That won't hurt my feelings. Give me a big thumbs up. I always appreciate the big thumbs up. Or, if you're not happy, give me a thumbs down. I mean, you gotta, to each his own. But anyway, I'm just going to keep rubbing that in. Yeah, trying to leave this stuff in here, guys, is hard on me. And the slowness is hard on me. Anyway, sorry. And then I paint it over in white. I do paint the back of those black or white. Or I paint the back of them. I truly do. Anyway, I don't know what color, but they get painted. Like I said, I did this last week. So, I'm going to take this. It's called Vivid Orange. And I know that's fuzzy there, but yeah, by P.O.Box, and it's just acrylic paint and multi-surface, and I was looking for like a deeper orange than my pumpkin even, and so I take some burnt umber, and I'm going to mix them together, and try to get the orange I'm looking for from that. Yeah. Just mix it up, mix it. Mix it up real good. Mix it real good. Anyway, and then paint it. But then I put it on there and I'm like, well, that's about the same color as my pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. So I put some burnt umber on my brush and while my orange was still wet and just kept painting it in and painting it in until I got the color that I liked. It does dry lighter than that, y'all. But anyway, and I'm going to paint the little pumpkin. That's what it is. I paint the back of them the same color I painted the front of them. And Tuscan Red, had to give it 3 colors by P.O.Box. And then 3 colors. 3 coats. And then the taller one I painted moss by Waverly. And I'm going to take that rust color and I'm going to give my little pumpkin some highlights. Just like my big pumpkin is. It's got brownish highlights. So... And then I take my moss one and I do some highlights with some celery chalk paint by Waverly. Yeah. And I think, you guys, I love this when it's finished. And, I'm going to take some masking tape and flip a piece upside down and then tape down the ends of it so I can paint this F-A-L-L. And those little letters came from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to... I took one of them shelf setters and I painted it in truffle chalk paint by Waverly. And I'm going to hot glue my F-A-L-L down the center of my big pumpkin. Guys, that thing is heavy. I'm telling you. I take one of them little sticks from the Dollar Tree, stick it down in my little hole for my stem, for my peduncle. And I'm going to take some jute. I take small jute and wrap it around the tall skinny pumpkin, and then I take thicker jute and wrap it around that little one. Yeah, this thing has a lot of detail. Yeah, most of my stuff does. I've came to realize that my DIYs have a lot of stuff that goes into them, and I apologize for that. Anyway, and I'm gonna burn off the fuzzies, and I'm gonna take 8 tumbling tower blocks that's painted in the truffle chalk paint. And I'm going to hot glue them to the back of my big pumpkin so it will sit on my shelf sitter and not fall down. Yeah, All right then. Alrighty then. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little pumpkins and I'm gonna glue one to each side of my big pumpkin. They're thick enough you don't have to put no tumbling tower blocks down for them. And then after I get them down, I'm going to pull them forward a little bit and put some hot glue in between them to tack them together there. See? You see? I tried to... I got 5 glue guns going at all times, y'all, so you never know what one I'm going to grab. So I just secure it with some hot glue on the back. Look, there's a different one. I was laughing about that. And I'm going to take some leaves from the Dollar Tree. I think that one came off a pick. And I'm going to put them on my pumpkin. That one I just wrapped around top. My stem was too small for this one. I need to add a bigger stem. I wish I'd glued some tumbling tower blocks together, like 4 of them, you know, one top the other, one on top the other, and stuck it down in there, but I didn't. And now I'm going to take some leaves and hot glue them down to my base, my shelf sitter. And I'm going to take one of them pumpkins that came off a pick from one of them leaves that I stuck on the thing. And then I take some berries and I glue them to the little pumpkin. They're glued to their peduncle. And then, I'm telling you, I did a lot of these. I take them little burlap pumpkins, one orange one and one brown one, and I glue them to the opposite side of my, that. And then I take this burlap flower here, this burgundy one I'm about to pick up, and I hot glue it down beside my green pumpkin there. And I take some of them little I'm going to take some wire jute from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap it around my peduncle and take my Cricut tool and make them squiggly. And I'm going to do that for the big one and do one on one side and one on the other side of the smaller ones. Jeez. Y'all. And then, y'all, I take some raffia, 3 different kinds, and I twist it around a skewer as tight as I can, and then I clip it down with a one of them little clamps from the Dollar Tree, and then I hold the other end down with my finger, and I take my heat tool and I get it real hot. And when you see it, like if the brown raffia starts getting a little bit dark, you know you're good to go. And I pull it off and make some curlies raffia. Look at that. Oh, isn't that cute? And then I put a knot in the middle of it. I thought that was a good idea. And then I separate it like that. Yeah, look there. And then I hot glue that one to my peduncle. I do it to the 2 little ones too. Look at that, how cute. Looks like my hair. Anyway, now I'm going to take 2 little acorns and glue them down. I take these little tiny orange pumpkins that comes in that potpourri, and I glued 3 of them together. Did like a little topiary, but you can't see it. And I put that on there. Excuse me. And then I don't know what else I did, guys. I did a lot to these. Oh, I took that piece of ribbon, put a knot in the center of it, and look at that pretty ribbon I got from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take that burnt orange, which is gorgeous, and I'm going to put 2, I made this shoestring bow, and I'm going to glue one to my tall one and one to my short one. And then I'm going to take that burnt orange and that leaf ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I fold a big piece in half and I glue it in between, in the center of my burnt orange ribbon and let the things hang down real forward. The tails, that's what they are. And then I'm just going to make another little bow, floofy bow, and I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and put it in the center of it and fluff it out, and I'm going to glue it on top of the orange one. Gee whiz. And then I'm going to take some jute and wrap it around my fingers 10 times, and then take another piece and tie it off in the center. And then I'm going to floof it out the best I can, make it big and floofy, and leave the tails along on it too. You know, the jute tails is just the jute you tie around the center. And glue it in the middle of it. And there we go, you guys. Look at that. It's so pretty. I love it. I hope y'all like it. I do there's this one and another one that I really, really like. And I hope y'all like that one. I think it's pretty. And look at me all shaky and goofy. I don't even know if I'm showing it very well. Anyway, there it is, y'all. There it is. Well, there it still is, too. See, it's still there. Okay, y'all. I was asked to do some calendar DIYs. I did two, but the one didn't make the cut. So I'm going to take that one. That sunflower one. I think that's pretty. And from that calendar. And I'm going to take these two signs from Easter time from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to pull that off. I was hoping that I could save that burlap and cover it up and just still be able to use it on the sign and kill two birds with one stone. I thought that would be perfect. But, yeah, it didn't work out like that. Because that will not come off. I don't know what that's glued on with. Concrete. I tried everything. I even took that little heat press and ran in on it and tried to loosen it up. It started loosening it up, but it still showed through. And I'm like, forget it. It ain't worth it. So I'm going to take two rulers there that I've had in my stash since 1829. And I'm going to hot glue those two signs together right there. Yeah. Just make sure, yeah, you push your sign real close together. That way you won't have a crack in the middle of it, you know. And then I'm going to glue a smaller stick up the center there. Okay, I was back and forth between brown and green and brown and green and brown and green. And I kind of wish I'd went with the brown, but I like the green. I know you're like, what? Going to take one of them signs from the Dollar Tree. Gee whiz, a lot of signs from the Dollar Tree, ain't it? Of course, you know I'm going to sand around the edges because I hate when that paper sticks out the side. But most of that paper came off, so I didn't even have to worry about it. And I'm going to take entirely too much Mod Podge. Way too much Mod Podge, y'all. Try to scrape a lot of that off with your brush if you can. I actually put it back in my bottle because I'm tight like that. But anyway, yeah, you don't need that much. But we're going to set that aside and let it dry. Make sure you get your edges real good. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. Now that it's dry, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put our calendar piece down there. We're going to put a piece of parchment paper on it. And we're going to take that little press and iron that down. And you have absolutely none, zilch, zero wrinkles in this whatsoever. And it just, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I like it a lot. Anyway, so, yeah. There it is, and then I'll show you up close, just in case you didn't believe me. I know you did. I don't know why I do those things. And then I'm going to sand it down. Look, I look like I'm crazy, like having a fit sanding that down. It's like, wop, wop, wop. How in the world did I manage this, y'all? Oh, still trying to get that off. It just wasn't working. So I take that Aleene's tacky glue and go all the way around it. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Anyway. And then I put that green burlap down. Yeah, I've had that for 2 years, you guys. I got to get rid of this stuff. And then I'm going to take tumbling tire blocks, 2 by 2, and glue them to the back of my little picture there. Yeah. Well, maybe my glue stick. That glue stick didn't want to agree with me. I had the worst. That glue stick has been a pain in my tuchus, and I would have thrown it away if it was not a detailed glue gun. And I've been looking for another one. That one's a sure bonder. It's just gave me fit since I got it. If y'all know a good, like, really detailed tip glue gun, let me know. Anyway, so I'm going to take wood glue and hot glue, and I'm going to glue my little picture on the front of my burlap signs there. Yeah, and set paint can on it to make sure it don't divot up. And I'm going to take truffle chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to paint a bunch of blocks. I don't know how many I used, y'all. I did not count. But I just hot glued them around and made me a frame on my picture. Yeah, I love this. Well, see, I said I was disappointed, but I kind of like the way things turned out. It took a long time to make each of them, I think. Maybe I just forgot what I made. Anyway, so I'm going to measure out right there, and take my miter shears and cut my block in the size that I needed. Those miter shears are awesome for tumbling tower blocks, guys. I did not want to invest in them. Trust me, I'm tight as they come. But for them tumbling tower blocks, you cannot beat it. Seriously. Anyway, and I'm just securing the blocks here after I made my frame, you know, just around that edge, because they stuck out on that side a little bit. Yeah. See, here's another glue gun. Anyway, I'm just going to make me a bow here to put on my sign. I got that burlap from Miss Jackie. And I don't even remember buying that stuff. If someone sent it to me and I don't remember, I'm so sorry, but thank you. Anyway, and I'm just going to make a bow and show you all of me making this bow, I reckon. Anyway, I cut, you know, little snips in it. I'm going to take a wire tie and tighten it up there and then floof my bow out. And I thought I deleted this, y'all. And I'm going to hot glue it to the top of my picture there. I've had a hard time today editing, man. I've been trying to edit since noon, and it kept saying my thing was full, and I couldn't add any more, and I couldn't do this, and I just had to keep deleting stuff on my phone. And anyway, and I take a pic from the Dollar Tree that Miss Carol Ann got me, and I put a big old sunflower that came from the Walmart in it. Remember, I got them ones on sale from the summer. There was only $1.75 for a big bushel. Anyway, and I'm going to take jute twine and wrap it around it, and the pine cones in that, but that came from that pick with Dollar Tree. I'm going to hot glue that down, and I was going to put another flower right here, but I didn't. I changed my mind. I think I should have, but here it is, y'all, and I think it's pretty. Tell me if you think, look at that little bee on it. Oh my goodness. Tell me if you think if I should put sunflower in the center of that bow. I kind of think I should, but then I didn't want it to be too many sunflowers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know. Okay, y'all, look at this. I got this from the Dollar Tree. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I've got to have that. It's in the Halloween stuff. So, of course, I'm going to dismantle it. And look, it took time. That thing gave me fits. I mean, I never got that all fair. Anyway, so I took and clipped the piece from the top, and with my 10 snips. I did not mean to do it. I wanted to cut from the bottom. And I'm like, oh, no. After I did, I'm like, stop. Yep, nope. Go to the bottom, dummy. Anyway, so I don't think it mattered. I wanted to keep the top intact. The bottom I knew I could fix. But then it just started falling apart. I mean, little stems started falling off of it and everything. Look at that. I'm like, that's okay. I can work with this. I'll maneuver it. So I took 10 millimeter beads and I put it on all my little prongs. Yeah. And then I hot glued the very last ones on there. And then, like, if there's anything left over, I'm going to take my lime and pliers and I set it in something so I could keep it set still. But anyway, because it was wanting to move everywhere. But this will be a good idea, too. If y'all put a candle, like a fake one, not a real one, down in that little fishbowl jar and then put your pumpkin around it, that'd be cute. But anyway, that's not what I'm doing. So, make you a little lantern, you know. So, well, I'm kind of making a little pumpkin lantern. So, I just took my lime and pliers and cut the tips off the rest of that wire sticking out. And I'm going to take that little round piece of wood from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to finagle my pumpkin tendrils. It looks like a spider, don't it? Around it. And I'm going to hot glue the beads, because it should be as flat as it can be there, to the round thing, you know what I mean? Y'all see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to take some jute. That's some jute I pulled off of one of them buckets. And I put my silicone spatula down there in case glue dripped. It wouldn't drip on my little wood piece. It would just drip on my spatula. So I'm smart like that. And I made it round and not flat. And as you get to the top, just like glue closer to the inside of your jute and wrap it. And then the very end, you cut a piece off and tuck it down in that hole. And it'll be round instead of flat. And I'm going to take some Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint. And I'm going to like heavily dry brush it all over the thing. And the more I look at it, the more it looks like a spider with a funny looking head. And I'm going to take some moss and put it on my peduncle. My peduncle looks funny too, don't it? Anyway, and then I'm going to take, you could put those leaves on it that came back on it, but I'm going to take some wire jute and wrap it around my peduncle, of course. Seems like this is a running theme with me, and I think it's a running theme with everybody. And, I don't know, y'all. Oh, I'm going to take this, faux leather leaf from the Dollar Tree that says thankful, and I just wrapped the whole hanger around it and hot glued the end of the hanger to the back of the leaf there. Yeah. And got that on there now. And then I'm going to take some, there you go. See? That's just what we do. Ain't it, girls or guys too? That's what we all do. So I'm going to take some eucalyptus. I love eucalyptus. And some lamb's ear. I like the lamb's ear too. From the Walmart. And I'm going to stick them inside of my little pumpkin on my base there. Yeah. And I'm just going to take a little candle, set it in the center of it, and there it is. And I think that's just cute as a Peter's button. I don't know what a Peter's button is, but my mama used to say that all the time. Yeah. Look at it. I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Okay, here's a mason jar Miss Carol Ann got me. Y'all, I jacked this up, but I think I hid everything that I messed up on this. I'm going to take that Night Sky by Waverly, which is a beautiful color. It reminds me of Nantucket Blue, and I love Nantucket Blue. Anyway, and I'm going to paint my entire mason jar. Well, not the stand, but, you know, the jar part. Anyway, and I give it 2 coats. And I'm going to take the little Farm Fresh word from the Dollar Tree that comes in that pack. And I'm going to take some antique wax. And I'm going to Mr. Miyagi it. Wax on, wax off. You know. And then I'm going to take my, my utility knife. And I'm going to cut my words up. I just didn't want them all. I want them to spell out Farm Fresh on their own. And the little wood letters from the Dollar Tree was too big. So, there you go. That's what I'm doing. If you just lay your knife down on it and press real hard, it'll cut that right off. Then I'm going to sand it off. And then I'm just going to put wax where I cut it and sanded it. And cover it up. Yep. And then I'm going to take that beautiful paper from the Hobby Lobby. And with them jars, if you don't want to take the base off, if you lay it on the edge of your table like that, see what I'm doing? Then it will lay flat on your craft paper. And you won't have a, and then you just trace it so you don't have a hard time, you know. Then it's easy that way. Y'all follow me? What was it Brice said? Are you catching what I'm throwing? Because Sammy always says, you picking up what I'm putting down? So one day Brice said, are you catching what I'm throwing? Oh no. Anyway, I'm sorry, Brie. Ah, you're silly. And I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it. And I didn't, like, put it all the way up to the tip of the jar. Because I had plans of doing something else. But trust me, it all went wrong on this video. This DIY especially. And then I'm going to disappear and do something. And just leave you all just sitting there like, where'd you go? And I don't even know where I went myself. Oh, I was going... Okay, you can scrape those off, that glitter off them things. I didn't mean to leave this in here. And then take alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and rub the rest of the glitter off. Because, yeah. Anyway, so my Farm Fresh words, that was just so random. I'm going to glue on with some super glue gel. And I'm going to do the farm in a little arch. And then the fresh, I'm going to, I know what it's called. I'm going to, y'all see what I'm doing. Kind of like, I know what I'm doing. Stair-stepping them, but that's not it. That's not it. I don't know what it is right now. And I take this orange burlap that I got from the Walmart. And then I thought this was going to be cute. And then it ended up looking like the Iron Sheik. And I'm like, well, that's not good. So then I just cut it off. And I wrapped it around it twice. And hot glued a little piece through the top of it. And hot glued a little piece of jute around it. And then just tied a little knot in it. And then I'm going to take that beautiful gingham ribbon from the Dollar Tree and make a little shoestring bow. And I'm hot gluing that down to it. And that's it. It's okay. I I'm disappointed in it. It's crooked and stuff, but whatever. Okay, y'all, this one here is just like, oh, I love it. So I'm taking some craft paper from the Dollar Tree. I know, it's crazy, right? Come up with some crazy ideas. And it's 18 inches long and about 2 inches wide. If I were y'all, I'd cut it about 2.5, 3 inches wide, maybe. And if you even do it, y'all's like, what do you mean? I ain't doing that. But anyway, and then you squash it all up, crunch it all up in your hands, like crunch it up, crunch it up, crunch it up, because it's easier to twist that way. But what I ended up doing was taking the 18-inch piece. Oh, I took that pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, them orange ones, and I give it 2 coats of hazelnut chalk paint by Waverly. So I ended up, yeah, see, it looks like that rattan, you guys. Yeah, I saw those little rattan pumpkins at the Dollar Tree, but they kind of look like apples, and I was like, those don't look that great. I was fussing and fighting that, and this first couple pieces was not good, but after I got the hang of it, y'all, yeah, you can't even tell. I love this thing. But what happened was I had some of the old craft paper from the Dollar Tree, and then I ran out, so I busted into my new craft paper from the Dollar Tree. They're actually slightly 2 different colors, which kind of worked in my favor because it's got different colors in it, and I think that's kind of cool. Cool. But anyway, you got your 18 inches, and you cut it in half, and you twist your pieces together like that. You see what I mean? Real tight. And if you crumple before you twist it, then it won't rip or tear. Y'all, my mouth is so dry. I haven't talked this much in I don't know how long. Let me see. Yeah, and just hot glue it down. Now, you're going to want some fingertips on because you'll lose your fingerprints if you don't put some of them little fingertip things on. I don't know if y'all are like me, but I got fat fingers, and my fat fingers won't fit in them pink ones from the Dollar Tree. But I bought me some, and the company sent me some, but I keep forgetting to put them on. But I finally did right there. Got some sense to me. But see how I'm gluing it? I just started off offsetting it, like across from each other, and just kept doing that until I got down to the, see, look, y'all can't even tell that's paper. I mean, right now you might be able to, but when it's done, you can't even tell it's paper, y'all. Seriously. My mind was blown. Anyway, sometimes I surprise myself. I'm going to make me a big giant foil pumpkin, too. Anyway, I don't know why I'm showing you it again, what I'm doing, because I'm pretty sure you get the picture, but you catch my drift. You catch what I'm throwing. Anyway, that's funny. And then, like, when it gets real close together, you can take and twist it, like, real pointy on an end. I think I'll show you here in a minute. I think just here, right after this. Yeah, look, it's almost done. There's my last piece. See how the colors are different? So it kind of, like, looks cool. But I'm going to take a piece and twist it up real tight on the end. Real tight, real tight and pointy. And shove it up in there, in that point. And then hot glue it up under there, so that way you can't tell that it doesn't run all the way. You know what I mean? It's really, I don't know, y'all. Y'all's like, that's just stupid. That's paper. But I don't think it looks like paper. I don't think so. Y'all be honest with me, and I know you will, but you don't have to hurt my feelings. But you can just say that don't look like paper, you dummy. But y'all can joke with me. I don't take everything serious, but I just don't think it does. And then the different colors is cool, and you could put some antique wax on it too, like different places. That would be neat, or even like dry brush it with some white chalk paint. But I'm just taking a chibi brush here and getting on my webs, my glue gun webs out of it, y'all. And I'm gonna take a stick, one of them sticks from the Dollar Tree, and I take like 8 little beads, no, 10 little beads, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little beads, and I wrap it around my peduncle, but I end up tying it on, and I'm going to take some of that, obviously, that pip berries, and I take 2 lamb's ear and glue them on there, and then that's when I tie my jute, and then Okay, I take a little bit of Spanish moss, and just a little bit, not much, just little bit. See that? And put it on there at the top, just ever so lightly, ever so lightly. And then I glue little wood leaves to the end of my bead string, and then I take that pick from the Walmart, and I take it apart, and I'm gonna take that raffia and stick it in the back behind my peduncle. That's so funny. I like saying peduncle. And I'm so immature. And I'm gonna take them little berries and put them down there, and I'm gonna take the leaf from it and glue it on top of my lamb's ear, and then I'm gonna take those little, I don't know what that is, but it's pretty. And I'm gonna glue it around my stem. They're little tiny berries. And yeah, and then that fell off, so I was like, well, I better put hot glue on it. And then I'm still putting them on. Here it is, y'all. I do love this. I love it. I love how it looks. I love how I accessorized it, or whatever it's called. Okay, y'all, here's the shirt. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then flip it over my mat to try to find the center the best I can. Yeah. Because I want it to be even. And I'm going to take that little easy press, y'all. HTV Ronk. Yeah. And HTV RONT on Amazon. And look at that I created. In Canva. And it's sublimation, y'all. And I'm going to take some heat transfer tape and take down my little image so it doesn't move around, because I know I will move it around. Plus, if I tape it down and it needs to be ironed longer, I can just lay it right back down, and yeah. And it go right back in its place, and I can just keep heating it. Anyway, I'm going to remove my tape and reveal. There it is. I don't know why I did that. There it is, and I think that is pretty. But just put hello pumpkin in the comment section if y'all want a chance to win this t-shirt. I think that's pretty. I love the colors too. Here's everything. Ta-da! You're like, finally, it's over. Thank goodness. Oh, my goodness. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Y'all mean the world to me. My birthday's Monday. I'm so excited. I'm going to be 48, though. How sad. Hey, at least I'm alive, I reckon. But I know where I'm going if I'm not. So, I know I'm so happy, y'all. See y'all later. I love y'all. Y'all mean the world to me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.